What is going on, guys? Jason Burke here, Styles Clash for Life, coming at you on YouTube, and I've got some football focus. If you've seen the title of this video, you know why I'm a little upset. I came into this Sunday very sick, stuffy nose, sore throat, have not slept much, lots of work been going on, big social life, very busy, very tired. And this game today, I've got some football focus. I'm going to briefly review for you guys the Week 6 2016 game between my Pittsburgh Steelers and the Miami Dolphins. And of course, if you can tell by my demeanor, the Miami Dolphins kicked our butts. Final score 30-15. I took some brief notes here. Not that I want to talk about them, but I have to do you guys right. You know, I talk about the Steelers when they win and when they look good and when they put up big points on offense. And this big flashy favorite, one of the best teams in the AFC, I give you guys all the good Steeler coverage. So I've got to give you guys the bad Steeler coverage as well. When they do well, I have to elevate them. When they do badly, I have to be honest. As a journalist and a reporter, on websites and on YouTube, I've got to talk about the bad Steelers. Not much to talk about positively here. On offense, Pittsburgh gave a field goal early. Dolphins got up 3-0. Pittsburgh went and took the lead eventually with a touchdown on a 60-yard Darius Hayward-Bay. Yes, I said Darius Hayward-Bay. He actually made a play. He can't really catch the ball downfield, but he is very fast when he gets the ball. So 60-yard reverse for Hayward-Bay for a touchdown. 2-point conversion to Le'Veon Bell. Pittsburgh was up 8-6. And that was about the last big highlight or time Pittsburgh was in the lead at all. Ben Roethlisberger got hurt late in the first half. He came up gimpy on his knee. He landed on his knee and his ankle. Went back to the locker room. Landry Jones came out. I don't have to tell you guys, if you know who Landry Jones is, how things turned out after that. On offense, the positive, Le'Veon Bell did finish with about 160 total yards. I think 55 rushing and 50-something passing. So he got over 100 total yards again. Other than that, offensively, nothing good to speak of. Roethlisberger finished, do I have his numbers here? Roethlisberger finished 19 of 34, 189 yards, 1 touchdown, 2 interceptions. He did come back after halftime. He only missed 1 series, so he didn't miss much. He did gut it out and try to come back, but he did not look good. He was gimping around the entire time. He was throwing into double coverage. He was underthrowing a lot of balls. He was trying to get the ball out too fast and missing a lot of stuff. He just wasn't the same. He came back and he tried to fight through it, as the tough Ben Roethlisberger always does. He is one of the toughest quarterbacks in the league, if not the toughest, but he did not look good at all coming back out. He didn't look that great to begin with. He was a little off early in the game anyway, and then when he came back, he was just totally off. Antonio Brown was double covered all day. He had, I think, 38 yards total receiving, so under 40 yards, couldn't get open. Sammy Coates, I think he might have caught 1 pass. I don't think he even did that. Eli Rogers was back today. Caught a couple of passes late in the game. That was it. Nothing special. Marcus Whedon did not play today. Nobody. I mean, I think our highest receiving total was Le'Veon Bell at 55. So no receivers over 40 yards for the entire game. So bad Ben throwing 2 bad interceptions into double coverage. Bad receivers. Nobody getting over 50 yards receiving. Le'Veon Bell, solid but nothing special. And the offensive line was bad. There's not one guy I can point to in particular that had a standout bad game, but they all played bad. DeCastro had a penalty. The new starter who's playing his second game, I can't recall, I didn't write his name down, but he got penalized, I think, twice, gave a few sacks up. They were trying to cover ends with Jesse James. Jesse James covering the Dolphins' defensive ends was not a smart play at all. They played a very good game against us. Ben got sacked twice and knocked down at least 5, pardon me, I'm breathing heavy here, 5 more times. So Ben got knocked down constantly. Even when he wasn't getting sacked, he was getting pressured. So bad offensive line. So bad all around on offense. I'll give this to the Dolphins. Ryan Tannehill played a very solid game. Didn't do anything outstanding, but he did extend a few plays. Was looking downfield, finding the tight ends deep down the field. Our coverage was bad today. Jarvis Landry, their leading receiver, had 7 catches for 91 yards, played a very solid game. He does a lot of Antonio Brown style stuff, catching short passes and extending the play. He played very well today. Jay Ajayi, who, by the way, was on my fantasy football bench today because I am a jackass. Jay Ajayi finishes with a career high. His previous career high was like 50 yards. He had eclipsed his total yardage, and the Dolphins had eclipsed their season yardage for rushing early in the third quarter. The Dolphins averaged like 67 or 70 yards on the season rushing, average per game. They had that beat by 12 minutes to go in the third quarter. Jay Ajayi finishes 25 carries, 204 yards rushing. Yes, 204 yards rushing against the Steelers and 2 touchdowns. He's the Dolphins MVP of the day. Ryan Tannehill and Jarvis Landry played well also. For the Steelers on defense, again, it's more of the bad. More injuries. Shazier didn't play today. Cam Hayward didn't play today. So you're already without 2 of your best players. Vince Williams, who's been our leading tackler in the last 2 weeks with 25 tackles, he got injured in this game. He did not return, so we'll have to see what's up with him. Robert Golden did come back and play, but didn't do much of anything. Mike Mitchell was in and out with an injury. He got hurt at some point during the game. I think he may have come back. I think he is still playing, but he was playing banged up today as well. So many injuries. Stephon Tuitt got hurt in the second half, and I don't believe he returned as well. So now you have to look down the line. I mean, this is getting crazy. Even if we do have Jarvis Jones playing, even if Mitchell's playing, we're looking at being without Cam Hayward, without Ryan Shazier, we're without Senquez Golston for quite a while yet. Now we're without Stephon Tuitt. You know, this is getting really bad. This on defense. The tackling today was piss poor. This was high school tackling. I've seen the Clareton Bears here in Pittsburgh tackle better than the Steelers. Again, the coverage wasn't much better. Ross Cockrell did make a few deflections. He did play tight coverage, but he got beat a couple of times downfield. William Gay got beat at least twice across the middle, or the one time to the backup tight end down the field. So he got beat a couple times today. He didn't look great. Artie Burns got toasted for a deep play in this game as well. I believe it was Devontae Parker beat him a couple times. And the Dolphins had a couple of drops. This could have been a more lopsided game than 30-15. The Dolphins had 2 different touchdowns. One was taken back by a penalty, and another was a drop ball by Devontae Parker in the end zone, who usually catches those. So the Pittsburgh Steelers coverage was really bad today. Burns, Cockrell, Gay, none of them really impressed me at all. Now, again, no pressure on the defensive line because most of our guys were out. When you take Vince Williams and Stephon Tuitt off of the defense that already doesn't have Shazier and Hayward, that's our 4 best pass rushers. So no pressure, no big tackling. The two positives on defense out of the entire team on defense, the 2 positives, Tyler Medikevich came in after Vince Williams, who's the backup, got hurt and played for third string, played pretty well, did get 9 tackles, 7 solos, 2 shared. So good for the local kid Medikevich to play pretty well in relief in the second half. And McCullers played pretty well. I think he had two big tackles for a loss. Did have 1 third down stop. Also had a blocked field goal, which could have made this game again further apart than it actually was. The Dolphins were trying to give the Steelers this game several times. Had a couple second half drops. Had the blocked field goal. Ben just couldn't capitalize with his bad foot. The receivers weren't getting open. Miami's pressure was beating us badly on the offensive line, and our defense couldn't tackle to save our lives. Jarvis Landry and Jay Ajayi just destroyed us, ate us up time after time. So nothing much good to report here. Besides those 2 guys on defense and Le'Veon Bell playing a decent game, nobody gets stars for this team this week. But still, Pittsburgh is still in a very good spot in the AFC. I think they're still probably the second best team overall in the AFC. The Broncos have lost now 2 in a row. They're looking down. In our division today, Baltimore, Cincinnati, and Cleveland all lost. So the 4 of us lose. Nobody loses a game. Pittsburgh is still well in control of that division. Already having beat Cincinnati, being a game ahead of Baltimore, and Cleveland just stinks. So Pittsburgh is still in a good spot, heading into a very big game, and what many are calling the AFC Championship possibility game next week against the Patriots. Steelers-Patriots next week at 4 p.m. So what are you guys looking forward to in that game? Who do we need to see back healthy for the Steelers? What do you guys think of this game today? Who do you want to give praise to, and who do you think needs to be benched or what needs to be changed? Give me your notes in the comments, guys. I love talking to my football fans. You guys have been awesome. I'm getting a lot of views on football stuff, a lot of feedback. Thank you guys so much for following. I'm going to keep doing my weekly Steeler games, weekly rankings. I'm going to put some positional rankings in there. I'm going to do a quarter seasonal thing or something. I'm going to add some more content for you guys. So until next time, guys, give me your notes in the comments, and I will see you all real soon. Go Steelers.